Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sierra Bazell, also known as Sierra the BB Doula, and today I want to talk to you about um, my juicing journey. I started a juicing journey this summer and it didn't work. And by it didn't work, I mean it was not working for me. So I want to tell you why juicing didn't work and what I'm doing instead. But before I do, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and share this video if you like it or you think that it's some good information. And be sure to comment if you can relate or if you have any questions about anything that I have said. Again, welcome back. My name is Sierra, and I started this juicing journey because I noticed that some things in my body weren't necessarily functioning the way that I wanted them to. I am a health coach, I am an herbalist, and I am also a doula. And I've been on this health journey of trying to heal different things in my body um, since I gave birth to my oldest daughter in 2009. And after giving birth to her, there were a lot of just issues happening within my body. I developed an ovarian cyst, I had a fibroid, there was a cyst in my right breast as well. My digestive system just wasn't functioning properly. And all of this happened after having a C-section. Later, I ended up dealing with secondary infertility, a lot of scarring internally, and it was just a mess. So I went on this journey to heal myself and to deal with these issues. So imagine my surprise when I started to notice that things just weren't working properly. I was starting to feel very tired and sluggish and all of these things. So I said, okay, well, maybe I'm not getting enough fruits and vegetables. Maybe I'm not eating enough of them. I'm going to go on a juicing journey. So I started juicing and I was juicing every day. And initially, I felt really good. But then, maybe about a month into this journey, some things started to change. So I noticed that I was becoming more constipated, and I don't deal with constipation. I'm a very regular person. I don't deal with that. I also noticed that I was feeling more tired than I had been before, and that my digestive system just wasn't functioning the way it needed to. My stomach was hurting, and I just was dealing with a lot of excessive gas and things again that I was not dealing with before. So I went to see my naturopathic doctor, and I recommend that people have both a regular medical doctor and a naturopathic doctor if you can afford to do so. And if you can't, then at least try to deal with a doctor, a medical doctor that is also very health conscious, and they talk a lot about diet, exercise, and natural remedies, as well as using medicine if necessary, because sometimes you don't always need to go the medicine route. So that is what I recommend. That's just my recommendation. You don't have to take that because I'm not a medical doctor. But anyway, I went to see my naturopath and she did some testing, and we found out my blood type, number one. Number two, we found out that I probably had some sensitivity to wheat and that I might have some parasites going on. And I talked about that in my gut healing video that I did earlier this year. So I went on this parasite cleanse. I did all these things, but I was still juicing. And even after the parasite cleanse, and I did all of the things that she told me to do, my gut was still not getting better. And I started to get really scared because I was like, um, I can't keep going back and forth between feeling constipated and feeling like there's a problem within my digestive system. I started to think that maybe I had IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or something else going on. So I was like, okay, I've gone gluten free, I've done all these things, and it's just not working. So then I kind of realized something, and I also believe in acupuncture and Chinese medicine because it has done a lot for me personally, and I know about it because I've studied it a little bit. I'm not certified in it, of course, but I have done some studies on Chinese medicine. And I have really learned a lot. And I remembered something that my acupuncturist told me a while ago. And she said that raw foods can be detrimental sometimes to people that are dealing with gut issues. Now, my gut has been semi healed for a long time. But when I started back eating wheat, I think I kind of messed that up a little bit. So what she was saying is that if your digestive system isn't as strong as it needs to be, it's not always able to handle raw foods. And I was eating a lot of raw foods because I was juicing them and then I was eating them. So I thought about that and I sat with it for a minute and I said, okay, well, I'm just going to stop juicing for a while and stop eating raw foods. That includes raw fruits. And I will eat apples from time to time, but I'm not eating them every day. If I am eating foods, they are cooked or steamed or something like that. So I did that. And within a couple of days, my stomach felt better. So I was like, okay, that means that juicing every day is not something that I can do right now because my gut is not able to handle it. And this happened after doing all of the gut health things that I was doing to make things feel better. I started back drinking collagen. I was taking glutamine. I was doing my probiotics and eating probiotic rich foods, and none of that was helping. So I had done all of the right things. I was making bone broth. I was doing all of these things, and none of it was fixing the issue. But once I stopped juicing and eating the raw foods and went back to eating cooked foods and soaking my grains, like I do eat oats, so I eat oatmeal, but it's gluten free, and I soak it before I cook it, and that helps with my body because that's what my body needs. The thing is that you have to know what your body can and can't handle. Some people can eat a raw food diet and that's all that they eat and they can feel amazing. I am not that person. My digestive system has not been the same since I gave birth via C section. And when I gave birth via C section, the doctor, as she was in there, she found a lot of scarring and she decided to do a surgery unbeknownst to me and my husband. So she scraped a lot of the scar tissue that was in there, and my digestive system has not been the same since then, but I have been able to get it to a place where things function the way that they should. So eating raw foods just doesn't work for me. I can eat them, but I cannot eat that many and that much. So that was not okay for me. I was also drinking smoothies during that time. So I was getting so much um, of the fruits and vegetables in their raw form that I guess my digestive system got somehow overloaded with all of this and it was just too much and it was unable to digest it all. Not to mention that the smoothies were cold and my digestive system needs warming foods. So we had the perfect storm and we had a problem. So I had to stop and instead I started focusing on eating warming foods, because again, now we're in the fall season, so now is the time where you transition anyway to eating more warming foods like soups and stews and steamed and cooked vegetables. But it's also a time where you drink things like tea. And because I really wanted to nourish my body after I had done all this cleansing, I needed to nourish it. I started back drinking my infusions, and this is one that I have had sitting that I'm going to drink today. And all an infusion is just taking some herbs. So let's say you do nettle. Nettle is a good one. It has a lot of things in it like iron and all sorts of vitamins and minerals that are good for you. It helps with allergies. It gives your body a lot of the nutrients that it needs. So you would take nettle and you would take, let's just call it a fourth of a cup, maybe more if you want, and put that at the bottom of this jar. And then you would fill the jar with hot water and put the lid on. Now we have a water cooler filter thingy in our kitchen that gives us hot water, but you can also just boil some filtered water and pour it in here and fill the jar up to the top up here, and then put the top on, and you leave that out overnight while you sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you remove the top, you strain the herbs out of the mixture, and you have essentially a very strong tea. But it's called an infusion because you let it sit for longer. So as long as it sits for 4+ hours, then it would be considered an infusion instead of a tea. So I drink that, and yeah, I'm doing a lot better. So just know that digestive issues can happen to everybody. I'm not perfect. I still have issues. I still deal with things. And if you're a person that has dealt with some type of C-sections, or you're just a person that deals with digestive issues, then you may want to stay away from raw foods. It may not be the best thing for you. And I know a lot of people push that, but it doesn't work for everybody. And for me, that just does not work. So nettle is great for people who want to conceive. It's great for people who are pregnant. You may want to take some caution if you have things like high blood pressure, because it can interfere with some things. But do your own research, talk to your doctor, work with an herbalist if you have questions. Feel free to ask me questions if you have questions as well. And I hope that this video helps you and it gives you some type of insight on why juicing may just not work for everybody. So again, this is kind of my story. This is my journey, and this is what I'm doing. I'm not a medical doctor, but if I can say something that helps you, then please feel free to listen, reach out, talk to your doctor about it, and see if it might work for you as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.